In this video, we're going to look at examples of good and bad confirmation paragraphs. And just to recap, the subject is whether or not ENDA should be passed by Congress, and this essay is arguing for ENDA, that it should be passed. That's the stance it's taking there. So let's take a look at these two confirmation paragraphs and see if we think that one of them is better than the other. I'm going to roll it up here a little bit and we'll pause the video. You can read it or read as much as you can see of the two there. All right, we're back now and let's look at C first. C is not an effective confirmation paragraph. First of all, the topic sentence is way too vague. Just saying there are many reasons that ENDA should be passed is not giving a specific reason in favor of the position this writer is taking. And then when you look at their evidence, it's all very vague. There's nothing specific there. It's all just kind of vague general statements with parenthetical citations at the end. And this is a good example of a problem some people have. They'll just sort of make a statement and put a parenthesis at the end with a source, but they're not presenting anything from that source. You need to present specific evidence, and specific evidence means a quote, a number, or a person. That's a good rule of thumb. A quote, a number, or a person. 90+% of evidence would fall into one of those categories. And this just doesn't even have any specific examples of real people. There are no numbers. There are no quotes, really, just kind of a general one. So there's no real evidence here to support what's being said. If we look at D, on the other hand, D is a good example of a confirmation paragraph. It has a very good topic sentence there. So I'm going to put that in red, since that's the claim. And it gives a specific reason, right? One of the most urgent reasons why Congress should pass ENDA is because people really are losing their jobs because they're gay. And that connects directly back to one of the reasons laid out in the thesis. And that follows that pattern I talked about in the earlier video. You can just say one of the reasons for my thesis is this, especially if it's your first confirmation. And then we have lots of specific examples. I'm going to highlight this part here, I think right about to here, because those are two examples that really are about specific people, specific situations, and they're named. Lisa Howe, right? Peter Tervier, and it gives specific incidents showing that yes, they lost their job for this reason. And it also is effective because it's pathos. If you think about that type of evidence, pathos appeals to emotions and values. And so these examples get us to sort of feel bad for what happened to these people, and it emotionally kind of gets us on side with the stance of the writer, right? We feel bad these people were fired, so emotionally we'd like to do something about it. And then it follows that up in the second part, and I'll put this maybe in blue here, with logos, right? The numbers, specific statistics, and quotes from experts, which is also ethos, kind of the harder evidence, saying it's not just these two people. This is a much broader problem. A lot of people are affected by it, and the experts agree that there's a real problem here that needs to be addressed. And so this kind of organization can be very effective when you sort of get people on side with an emotional appeal, pathos, and then immediately confirm that with some logos and ethos, the harder evidence. That's a nice way to organize a persuasive paragraph. But bigger picture, this is using specific evidence from research. So the evidence is all coming from the research, and we're getting something specific here, specific numbers, specific people's names, specific situations, specific quotes from experts. So that's the kind of thing you want to do to have a good confirmation paragraph. And if you want to take a look again at how to put that together, you can review that in the previous video.